Hi there, my name is Dr. John Kennedy. I'm the Medical Director in Therapy Fertility, and what I want to do today is just take 2 or 3 minutes out of your day to talk about publicly funded IVF treatment in Ireland. This has been a hot topic for, ever since I've been in the field, so that's going back over 10 years. Every few years we start talking about publicly funded treatment and what that's going to look like. In this year, 2023, it looks like it's more real. There seems to have been funding allocated to it. There seems to be a plan to try to deliver it, and the government is talking about going out to tender for publicly funded fertility, publicly funded IVF and ICSI cycles. So this is fantastic. This in many ways is more real than it's ever been before, and hopefully we see this progressing over the next number of months. So what do we know? Well, we know the government have committed to publicly funded IVF. Now they've done that before, so that's not necessarily a lock, but we do know that they've benchmarked some money for it, which is a progress, and we do know that they've already started reaching out to the private fertility clinics to look for tender applications, to look and say, hey, listen, how much are you charging for a cycle? What does your cycle look like? What does it include? What does it not include? We know they've started the ball rolling in that process. So that's great. We also know they've said that they want to start doing this by September. Now, what do we not know? We don't know if that September date is achievable. These wheels sometimes turn quite slowly. We also don't know realistically how many cycles they're actually going to deliver. And this is about money, guys. I wish it wasn't, but it is. So who will those cycles be delivered to? What they're going to do is they're going to work out they can deliver X thousand cycles in a year, and then they're going to stick a framework in to limit the entry criteria to maintain those sort of numbers. So those entry criteria will be based around age, history, probably BMI, smoking, whether or not you've had a child before from a previous relationship. Essentially, a little bit probably copy and pasting what other countries have done before. Nothing new in that, nothing strange or startling in that, but we really don't know today who's going to be eligible for this. We're not really sure how this is going to be delivered. What we think is that patients are going to attend one of the public fertility hubs. There's a couple dotted around the country. They'll have a workup there, they'll see somebody there, and then they'll be deemed eligible for publicly funded fertility treatment. That's probably how it's going to go, but I'm not certain about that. Now, if that's the case, that's probably going to very quickly create a choke point for patients getting into that service before they can be removed on. So it's May now. What should you do as a woman, or what should you do as a couple thinking about trying to conceive, thinking about trying to start a family? Should you wait? Should you not? Now, clearly I have a bias in this. All I see is couples struggling day in, day out to get tested, to have treatment, to progress things. And they all say, I wish I'd started sooner. They all say, I wish I'd done more earlier. So I think whenever we've seen that the government has floated the notion of publicly funded IVF, that there's been a small drop in patients attending for testing, attending for treatment. Now, we haven't seen this in therapy fertility, and that's probably because we're a growing organization and, because we're gathering so much momentum as it is, well done us, that you're not going to see that blip. But I'd be surprised if it didn't come, and I'd be surprised if it didn't come when it became more real. And fine, if you're 30, 31 years old, by all means, take some time. If you're 34, 35, 36, 37 onwards, months matter. I wish they didn't, but they do. And I'd urge people to be responsible about, at the very least, getting the testing done. Be proactive about that. Get the testing done. Get the information, get the options. Try to get a handle from whoever you're talking to, maybe another fertility clinic, that's less important, on what my success rate is right now, what my success rate is in 6 months, in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, because these numbers can drop dramatically. And I don't want to see people get timed out because they were on a promise. Okay, so this is an incredibly positive thing. I really hope the government steps up and delivers it. I think it's a great opportunity for people in Ireland. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Couldn't be happier with this. But until such time as we get more clarity around the structure and specifically the timelines of how it's going to be delivered, I would encourage you not to delay. Mind yourselves and stay safe.